Remember when an NFT of Jack Dorsey's first tweet was purchased for $2.9 million, and all of us on the show were like, but why? Well, that NFT went on sale for $48 million. And guess how much the top bid was? It's there, so you don't have to guess. It's on the screen. But if you're listening on the podcast, you can guess. It sold for it didn't sell, sorry. The top bid was $280. So crypto entrepreneur Sina Estavi listed the NFT last week, and he said 50% of proceeds would go to charity. He made this big splash. And on Wednesday, he said, the deadline I set was over, but if I get a good offer, I might accept it. I might never sell it. So kind of a big womp womp. There's more of a history to this entrepreneur who owns this NFT, but we can get into that in a little bit.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur. For the people who are listening, Will did air quotes there. Will, I'm going to toss it off to you first. I just know you laughed when you read this headline.
Yeah, no, I thought when I was first digging into this article it was going to be about NFTs, talking about Jack Dorsey, and all of a sudden I was moved to Iran, and there was some guy selling me a token on Tron, and then a bunch of people were out a lot of money, and they're all in a Telegram channel grumbling to each other. And it's a story as old as Bitcoin itself, but this story is really not as old as like the NFT thing. I thought that was like the punchline here, but it's really not. It's like another guy, you like flip over under the stone and there's just like a bunch of worms under it. This man has just gone and like scammed a lot of people, and now he's trying to get his money back. Now he's trying to scam more people with this NFT that is totally worthless, like $280. He's listing it right now on OpenSea for like, what was it, 30 times more or 15 times more than he bought it for. He bought it for a lot of money. And you have to wonder, where did that money come from? And the question is basically found in his document where he sold a bunch of tokens that were worthless on Tron. And a lot of people are grumbling. The token went to zero. Now he's also empty without a bag because he took his money that he made from these now worthless tokens and he put it into a now worthless NFT. So I guess the story here is there is a little justice in the universe, at least for these ICO scammers. I want to throw this up to David and get your take on it, though.
Yeah, I'm really curious about this because, I have a healthy amount of skepticism towards NFTs as a, short-term market play. I think that, this number go up stuff is out of control, right? Like people aren't going to continue making 200% returns in 2 months or whatever. And this guy obviously has not caught up to that reality. However, I do wonder about the $280 max bid. I mean, it really does seem, and it was on OpenSea, but that's either we're really entering a tough market stretch, and that's maybe a signal, or there was something else going on because, 280 seems too low even for something that clearly is not worth as much as he paid for it the first time around. But I do wonder about that. The other thing, just sort of as general commentary, is this says, assuming that we eliminate some weirdness around the actual auction, this does say some interesting things about like NFTs and what's valuable and what's not, right? So this is sort of, you might say, a historical document NFT, I think would be one way to put it. And you can compare that to, a profile pic like at Bored Ape, which actually also has some other stuff going on. And those seem to be, if we take this as a signal, those are holding up better for the time being. Or like fine art NFTs are another category. So this is something where you can look at not just NFTs, but what different types of NFTs there are and how they perform. Jen, go for it.
Yeah, but before I kick it over to Zach, I just want to add a little bit to what Will was saying. So the two companies that this entrepreneur had folded when he was arrested in Iran. He was in prison for 9 months. He came out, and then he launched a new token and was asking people who owned this old token that is now essentially worthless to trade them in for the new one. And the way in which he went about it was just so sad to see. I mean, we talk so much on the show about scams and what to look out for. And I'm just so he wants the original investors to send him their phone number and some TRX to verify their holdings. Then he's going to send them their new tokens in a month or two, along with the original tokens that were sent for verification. This is just the quintessential way to scam people out of money. Send me money, send me tokens, and I'm just going to hold on to them and I'll send you more back. Plus more. Like, why? If it sounds too good to be true, it often is. And I just thought, wow, scammers.
For those listening on the podcast, my left eyebrow is about 5 inches above my right eyebrow right now. So.
True. I can't confirm.
Zach passed out. He's so upset.
I am lying on the floor in a pool of blood. Podcast listeners, just FYI. No, this story like took off like wildfire. Like everybody was talking about this. It was like everybody was like all about this story yesterday. There was a lot of sort of like NFT, Schadenfreude out there. It confirmed a lot of people's priors about the NFT bubble and all that stuff. And I think there was also some misunderstanding as to Jack Dorsey's involvement in this thing, right? This is a platform where anyone can mint anyone else's tweets as NFTs. I think it's called Cent. And it's not as though Jack Dorsey minted this thing, sold it for however many it sold for, like I don't know, last December or whatever, and then tried to put it up again. It just so happens that it is a historical document that involves Jack Dorsey. But Jack Dorsey is not like taking action in this story. So I think some people in the Twitter chatter out in the mainstream may have misinterpreted the role of the Twitter founder and former CEO. He's not the guy involved here. But this is I think it's just an interesting story unique to this weird, really messed up situation. I don't know what the broader point is about the NFT market as a whole. I think David is right that there are types of NFTs that this may be a signal around, but this feels like its own little unique universe of crazy. And it's just it's a remarkable story. Check out the full piece if you haven't. If you've just seen the short piece, do yourself a favor and click the read more and go read Sondely's reporting on this one.
Yeah, props to Sondely for some great work.